All right.
5, 4, 3, 2. Folks, how are you today? Awesome, you're back from Northeastern University.
Yes, indeed.
And now you have to work a year there. It's a 5-year program. You work and you study for 4 years.
Yeah. Well, we do 2 years, at least in my the way I organize it. 2 years with just classes. I finished those.
2 years with just classes and you finished them.
3 years where you do half the year working and then half the year studying. So I just did my first work part of my 3rd year of collective.
So that's your half year.
Yes.
So when you go back in January, February, what will you be?
I will
classes?
be classes, yes.
And then what will you be in the fall of 2015?
I will be working again.
That'll be working. That'll complete that.
No. I will also work fall 2016. I'll have a total of 3 jobs.
I didn't know you have 3 semesters?
Three of the 3 working semesters, yes. I just did 1.
And how'd you like the psych lab where you worked?
I liked it a lot. I learned a real lot about how research labs are structured. I learned a lot about all the background work that has to be done for each experiment. I learned a lot about citing papers. I've got a lot of more constructive knowledge of how to write a paper now.
It's been worthwhile.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've done a lot of citing for people. I've done a lot of data analysis, so I kind of know how to look at data once I have it and see basically what it says. I'm still not advanced enough to be able to pick out all the little details of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got definitely a more advanced knowledge than I had beforehand, though.
And you're still going to go through with, you're going right straight through for a PhD?
That's the plan, yeah. I might take a year off or something, or get work for a year at a different job just to build up more experience. Something like that I might. But the plan is to go, just skip a master's degree and go into a PhD program. That's the plan.
Skip a master's?
Yeah.
And go into PhD.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't take a year off, you would go straight through on a fellowship?
Most likely, yeah. If I can get one. I pretty much need to.
And you're what?
I pretty much need to get one for my plans, at least.
All right.
I don't plan on being $100,000 in debt to get my PhD. Maybe even more.
Yeah, this is good. You've stayed out of debt so far.
Yeah, so far it's been lucky. Yeah.
Now, show the folks one of these beautiful vegetable dishes.
Okay, so
the clerk of the supervisor of the town of Nassau saw this book. And she bought it for the Glendora Vegetarian Club. And it's all the most delicious and beautiful recipes for vegetables. Can you show us one or two? That one, show people what that one is.
Pumpkin baked with tomatoes and rosemary. You can't really see it very well because our lighting is there, but
oh, okay.
I can probably get kind of close. Oh yeah, it's not bad.
What was it? Pumpkin and what?
Pumpkin with tomatoes and rosemary. Baked with tomatoes and rosemary.
Well, that sounds good. Pumpkin.
Yeah, definitely.
It's hard to find recipes for pumpkins except
Besides
for the pie.
pumpkin pie, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of they all look like very, fancy dishes, I'd say. At least for me. Yeah.
You're a
Ratatouille.
vegetarian. Are you vegan yet?
I'm working my way there. I don't really buy anything that's not vegan in the supermarket anymore, but I still occasionally, at college, when they give out free food, I'll get something, and I just make sure it's vegetarian at that point. That kind of stuff. But I'm definitely made a couple steps in the right direction, though. I don't drink milk anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, only almond milk now.
Yeah.
I have this protein powder stuff at school.
Vegan protein?
Yeah, it's dairy-free, gluten-free, soy-free. It's really, it's made of peas.
Really?
Yeah, hemp seed, cranberries. There might be flax in it, and 1 or 2 other things. But yeah, it tastes all right. Like it's like no protein powder, whether it's made with whey, which is a milk derivative. None of them are good. So it's like all right. It stands with taste wise pretty close to all the other ones. So I like it. It's come out really well.
Would you read to the folks, veganism is environmentalism?
Okay. So
read some of that. Huh?
just should I pick out like 3 or 4?
That's good.
So animal agriculture is the leading cause of species extinction, ocean dead zones, water pollution, and habitat destruction. Basically means that the land we're clearing to use for animal farming and like overfishing in the ocean, and that kind of stuff, the pollution in the water, it's due to the fact that animal agriculture causes a real lot of pollutants and runoff.
And it's also destroying the rainforest because they take
They cut down the trees in order to make pasture space.
It's got to stop, folks. But I think it is making marvelous strides.
Yeah. Animal agriculture is responsible for more greenhouse gas emissions than all transportation combined. That's basically means that the carbon monoxide and like CO2 and methane released in the production of animal food, like animal-based foods, is creates more toxins basically than cars. So people are like, oh, I can be more green by getting a car that has better gas mileage. Just true, but cutting meat out of your diet would do even more,
much
a lot
more.
Yeah.
And it's the feces is what it is.
Yeah.
The methane.
Exactly. Yeah, and the amount of fertilizer you need to grow the fields to grow the food to feed the animals, because only when you eat foods made out of animals, only 10% of the energy used to grow the food that they feed to them gets actually converted into food that people eat.
Terrible situation.
Yeah, it takes 10 times as much corn to make 10 pounds of corn to make 1 pound of animal food.
It has to stop. And the United Nations folks has put out quite a few reports on this, how animal methane is causing the pollution more than all of the transportation.
Let's see. So, land required to feed 1 person for 1 year. Vegan is 1/6 of an acre. Vegetarian is 1/2 an acre. And a meat and dairy consumer is 3 acres.
See? Yeah.
Yeah. So.
That's very good. Doesn't tell you who put this out, does it?
They do have sources under each of these, yes. Okay, so there is the group that made this flyer is called Evolve for Animals.
Have you ever heard of them?
No. It's a good flyer, though. And then and each statement has a citation or a source for how they made that. They're not just throwing these out just with information that they gathered irresponsibly. They have, for example, the animal agriculture is responsible for more greenhouse emissions than transportation. They have a FAO.org spotlight, livestock impacts on the environment, www.fao.org, and then they have the specific website that you go to.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Now this one is a website that tells you something. Could you
All right.
read that?
Which
Well, right across the top there.
the sides are different. Which one do you want me to read?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. So every time you buy a product, you're voting for or against animal testing.
Yes,
It's easy to take a stand for the animals by only purchasing from companies that are accredited as cruelty-free.
that's it.
Go to www.leapingbunny, leaping like jumping, bunny like rabbit, leapingbunny.org for a complete listing of companies and products that do not test on animals.
Say that again, would you please?
So,
Go
www.leapingbunny.org for a complete leaping with a G at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Leaping Bunny for a complete listing of companies and products that do or do not test on animals. So you can choose which ones to buy from.
Good. Thank you, Austin. This is so good. What's that say up there?
Let your food be your medicine. The The New Wave Cafe and Bar serves health-centric cuisine of recipes based on a living or raw culinary technique. Technique requires all of our dishes to be prepared while conserving the food's natural state of nutrition and enzyme density, allowing for optimal nutrient assimilation and rich flavors.
That's what they do at the restaurant?
Yes. So, our gourmet dishes are delicately made using organic ingredients whenever possible, freshest and ripest state, along with dehydrating specialty items at or below 115 degrees. I think that has to do with when you put certain vegetables at high temperatures, for example, can break down the structure of the cells that you're eating, so like it changes them, and they just want to avoid changing that. Like when you,
And then they're no good for you.
well, they're still good for you, but not as good for you.
Oh.
Like for example, when you steam broccoli, it breaks down the cell walls so that they're a little softer and more tender. I like it better tasting that way, so I always do it. But it's not as healthy as if I ate the broccoli raw. Yeah.
I suppose not.
Yeah.
I suppose not.
Broccoli's still
raw,
good for you.
Raw is good.
Yeah.
Picking it off the tree and eating it, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's basically their philosophy.
Now here, I like what she's doing. Can you get the message through what she's doing?
Let's see, are you ready to transform your health? Charge up with plant-based power. One-on-one wellness counseling, pantry evaluation and clean out. Basically means they look at what you got in your pantry,
And then they
tell
help
you
you
what's
throw
good and
it out.
bad, clean it out, and then we'll help you buy new foods that are healthy for you.
Hey, good.
Helping with shopping and cooking, educational materials, and personal support every step of the way. So these are classes taught by Teresa, nicknamed Sam Houghton, aka the Quantum Vegan. So I think her website is www.quantumvegan.com. Yeah, pretty straightforward there.
These Gardein products, they're meat-free.
Correct. I've had quite a few of them actually.
Tell me about
not a lot, but like a decent number. So, Gardein makes vegetarian and I think mostly vegan, almost completely vegan, but I'm not 100%
Are they
sure.
vegan?
I think, but I'm not sure. So I would check them, but I'm pretty sure they're vegan.
Hey, Austin, guess what?
Mhm.
I was at Trader Joe's with Kurt Vincent,
Yeah.
and I saw a product I have never seen before, but I've been waiting for
What
a
is it?
long time. Grillers Vegan.
Oh really? Oh, of the
Vegan
Morningstar.
grillers. Yeah,
Yeah,
Morningstar
I've seen them.
product.
I have seen them before actually, but they're hard to find sometimes.
Oh,
I've
you
seen
have
them in
seen
the
them?
past, but only like sporadically. They're
Where
not
did you see them?
consistent. I've seen them in Hannaford before, but they're not consistently there though.
No, the best one I have always said is the Grillers Original, but this is the new one. And at last we got Grillers Vegan.
Yeah. Oh, and I think Gardein actually are all vegan.
You do think so?
No cholesterol, no trans fat, low calorie, vegan. Yeah. So
They are vegan, huh?
blend of non-GMO soy, wheat, and canola, ancient grains, and veggies.
Okay, and they are delicious.
I've had some of them are very good. The ones I've had. I haven't, but there's so many of them here that I haven't gotten a chance to try it though. So I think I would definitely enjoy that if I can find them. I don't know.
On January 28th, Austin, you won't be here, but the Glendora Vegetarian Club is having Gardein tender crisps, and they're like chicken, and they're breaded, but they're made from 7 grains, and we're going to have that with gravy.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, vegan gravy, mashed potatoes, and sweet peas.
Cool.
Yeah, and February will be our first year.
Wow. Oh yeah, January will be 12th, so
Yeah.
February 13th will be 1 year. That's cool.
And we're going to have a birthday party. We're going to have a vegan cake from Troy over at 4th and State Street. We'll have that brought over. And we'll have, I noticed that Trader Joe had a creamy soy ice cream that is even more like ice cream than the So Delicious. It's made from coconut milk. It's
Yeah.
creamy. And so we're going to have that.
Oh, cool.
And it's chocolate and cherry.
Mhm.
And so that'll be our birthday party
That's
on
nice.
the last Wednesday of
Are
February.
you gonna try to get like a vegan pizza too?
No, I'm not going to give them any dinner, hon.
Oh, it's just gonna be like a dessert style.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
By the way, the Glendora Vegetarian Club has been an investment of $2,000. And it has taken 150 hours. in its first year. Meats Not Green, what's this about?
This is probably similar to the other one. Raising animals for food is one of the top 2 or 3 most significant contributors to the most serious environmental problems at every
Oh.
scale, from local to global.
I see why meat's not green.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's what we said in the other one, basically. Water use, energy use, oceans, unethical.
Who put that out, honey? What's their address and stuff?
I think this is just PETA.
Oh, Peter, good for you. People for the ethical treatment
of animals.
of
Yeah.
animals.
hmm
Thank you. Who put this up?
This one is also PETA.
And what's it say?
You think you can be a meat-eating environmentalist? Think again. And it's
Good
asking
for
you to
you.
go vegetarian.
Yeah, good for you. Ingrid, what's her last name? Kirk? Ingrid something. Yeah, runs People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. I think your video's about over.
We have about 5 or 10 minutes left. I'll
Yeah.
stop that really quick and
Okay.
switch over to the other video, and you can
Oh.
keep talking, and I'll come back over.
Okay. Want to go through these, hon?
Mhm.
Tell me what they are.
Alright, so Dust Bunny's Boutique.
Huh.
Crafting for a cause. 100% of our proceeds go to support animal rescues and sanctuaries.
Ooh.
So yeah, you can Google that. Dust Bunny's Boutique.
Oh, good, and they
Yeah.
help animals. All
Mhm.
right.
Yeah, I think they they probably do like crafted things. They probably make like picture frames and that kind of stuff, and then sell it for like
And then how
donate
much
the money.
goes to animals?
100%.
100%.
It might be 100% of like of profit. Like they might like keep the money that they spent buying the materials.
Yeah.
Then put like the work profit to the animals. That I don't know which one it is. It could be either, but it's still like going for a good cause. This is Trinity Mending Holistic Health and Wellness Improvement.
Gee, there's lots of people doing this, isn't
Oh
there?
yeah. Well, they're not all necessarily specifically vegan or vegetarian. They're just connected to it. Like a lot of the people that, for example, holistic health, I believe that just has to do like eating naturally and things like that. Like it's not necessarily vegetarianism, but people who do it are generally vegetarian. Things
Oh,
like
I
that.
see.
Yeah. It's like it's connected, but it's not specifically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Maggie and Ben are. It's a picture of 2 beagles
Oh, yes.
for the BeagleFreedomProject.org.
And that was this thing that you
Yeah.
read. Yeah.
Mhm. Or it has to do with lab testing. Yeah.
Yes. There is a group named Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, they are physicians who are opposing the use of animals in medical research.
Yes.
You've heard of them?
I've heard. There's the movement is fairly recognized. I just know the specific name of the group that
Oh,
did
yeah,
it.
okay.
All right, this is Compassion, which is organic USA made vegan apparel. www.compassionco.com.
Yeah, don't use apparel that's made of animal products. Is that what it is?
Yeah, basically no fur, no leather,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Oh, Austin, I gotta tell you, I needed a pair of boots, and of course I wanted them to be man-made. And so Sandy and Andrew and Carrie said they were going to Walmart, and I said, great, we'll get the boots. Well, the next thing I know, we're going up I-90 up to Albany to the mall, of all places, the Westgate Mall, great big expensive place. And Sandy says, let's go look for boots. And I knew I was in trouble. $128, $168.
Yeah, right.
And you know they're not man-made. And so we went to 3 stores. And finally Sandy says, let's go to Discount Boots. Well, we went there, and the cheapest I could find was $62. But they were man-made. And the little girl who waited on us, who was a little college kid, probably your age, go ahead,
You
Austin.
can keep talking. I'm gonna go check on the video. Do you think I should just switch over?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And she was so nice, and she took so much time and took so much care. I could not walk out of that store and not buy those boots. So Austin, I bought $62 boots. And I knew at Walmart I could get what I was looking for $15. And so I did. I got the boots, and Sandy says, well, I'll bring them back the next day. And I says, no, that would be unconscionable. And so I kept the boots. They are very nice. They are man-made. And so a couple weeks later, I worked my way to Walmart, and sure enough, here were the man-made boots, and they were only $16 on the shelf, and when you got to the checkout, they were only $14.
Is that those ones?
Yep, that's one I'm wearing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you got 2 pairs. Well, it's good you have 2 pairs now. Hey, they average out to like 35. That's like.
Okay, I'll tell you some jokes while Austin's.
I'm ready to come back. This is all set up.
Okay. I can
I'm
tell
gonna
you.
set the alarm again, actually.
I'll tell you one joke, Austin. The shop owner said to his employee, I heard you arguing with a customer. It's a strict policy of this shop that the customer is always right. I never want to hear you argue with a customer again. Now, do you understand that? And the little employee said, yes, sir. And the owner says, what were you arguing about? And the little employee said, he said you were an idiot.
This is Vegan Treats Bakery,
Okay.
Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, if you
Good.
live near there.
Yeah, we got one in Troy.
Vegantreats.com.
Yep.
That's their address.
Oh, by the way, folks, all of these flyers came from the Vegetarian Expo by the Albany Vegans Network. And they have it every November in Albany at the Polish Center on Washington Avenue Extension. Every November, second Saturday, third, or second and third.
Let's see. This is just New York Coalition for a Healthy School Food.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
very important.
So
also.
they are
That
just
is so
petitioning
important.
to improve the nutritional standards of the food in
And
high school.
also, they want teachers to help the children learn nutrition.
Yeah. There is a nutritional program in like 5th grade about like the food guide pyramid and stuff, but like it's kind of limited. It's only like a week long, and by a week long I mean like you go to class like twice during that week, and it's like 40 minutes. So yeah, it's kind of basic. Yeah. This is a DVD from PETA 2. Face Your Food. It's just like a. We haven't seen it yet because it probably shows nasty things, where we already know all about them, so we don't need to see them again.
I can't bear to see
Yeah, but it's hosted by Peter Dinklage. He's an actor. He's definitely at or probably near the height of his career right now. He's in Game of Thrones, which is like an HBO TV series. It's extremely popular. He's been in a few movies. He's done like voiceovers for like video games, stuff like that. So he's pretty iconic at the moment.
Is he a vegan?
He's at least a vegetarian, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't think PETA would work with him if he wasn't at least a vegetarian.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Vegan Restaurant Guides in New York City 2014.
Yeah.
They have each borough, and they have some of the best. Wow, there's a lot of them. That's one of the good things about living in a city. You actually have options.
How about Boston?
Yeah.
Are there a lot of vegan
There
restaurants?
are a decent amount of restaurants with options. I know there's a vegan it's some sort of like I can't remember if it's like a coffee shop or like a specific or like a Asian food store or something. But there's one or two nearby me that I haven't gotten to go to yet. There's a bakery that has vegan options that one of my friends works at. Well, she did. She's not currently she's currently studying abroad, but she did work there. Yeah, they made like vegan cookies and cupcakes. I know, like, I went to a restaurant and they had, I think it was Gardein burgers. Like, any burger on their menu, they could make you a veggie burger version of it.
Oh.
So I got a Hawaiian veggie burger, and
Yeah.
it was really good. It had pineapple on it,
Oh.
and it had like these special sauces that were really tangy. It was great.
Yeah.
So in Boston isn't the most vegetarian vegan friendly city, but it's not like actively bad though at the same time. It's like it's okay. It's not like living around here where it's like you need to go out of your way to like find places that serve options for you, you know? Like you didn't go to Tom's Diner at all until you found out they had veggie burgers, right? Exactly, things like that.
Yeah.
Like you specifically avoid a lot of places because it's like they just don't have anything for you. But in the city, it's a little better. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. There's Manhattan. They've got each like upper East Side, upper West Side, Midtown. Then they've got the Bronx. There's only 2 in the Bronx that this has listed. There's probably more. The Bronx. Brooklyn's got a lot. Queens has some. I don't see Staten Island on here, but Staten Island is nowhere near as like traversed as the other 4 boroughs. So, yeah.
You're going to love this, folks, in Austin. This is your friend Chris Gibson, who is our congressman, and he was reelected.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote me this letter because every week I call Chris Gibson, and the next week I'll call Gildebrand. And the next
you call
week,
Schumer too, right?
Yeah, and then I call Schumer, and I do these, rotate them or whatever you say, and ask them to support animal legislation. And one time, and I've done this so many times to Chris Gibson, he wrote us this letter. Would you read this letter?
Okay, sure thing. Do you want me to just paraphrase it, or do you want me to actually read it?
Well, start out reading it first.
Okay. So thank you very much for contacting me regarding your support of our animal welfare laws. It's good to hear from you. As a pet owner myself, I understand and share your concerns about the humane treatment of animals, committed to the well-being of animals under our care. This is an important, nonpartisan set of issues for which I am happy to have been a supporter throughout my tenure in Congress. Specific examples of efforts that I have supported thus far during the 113th Congress are below. So the House Appropriations Committee requesting increased or maintained funding levels for animal welfare laws, including the main, lots of Animal Welfare Act, Horse Protection Act. So basically, he voted to continue or potentially raise the current fund for animal welfare.
Thank you, Chris.
Let's see, prohibited. He I think voted against limiting the funding for horse welfare investigations, so that they wouldn't cut the funding. I think.
Thank you, Chris.
Multinational species conservation funds. Let's see. The act where spectating an animal fighting thing is illegal, and I think it's a felony if you bring a kid, something like that. Yeah, that's a good law.
Wonderful. It's
just a couple more things like that.
Yeah. And over on the next page.
Veterinary Medicine Mobility Acts.
So veterinarians can make house calls.
Yeah. And then assigned a letter to Acting Administrator of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration in support of state efforts to combat shark finning. Yeah. In times of difficulty, leaders of our great country must work in a bipartisan way where possible to address the important issues facing our nation, including the enforcement and strengthening of our animal welfare laws. Thank you again for contacting me with your thoughts. Please do not hesitate to inform me of your concerns in the future through my website or over the phone.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Aren't you pleased? Now, you know Chris Gibson. He came to your high school.
Yeah, he did. He came he came to talk to the students because he didn't see what to think about it, but it got postponed because we had a snow day on the day it was supposed to happen. He came back 5 months later, and this was when I was a junior. And Devin McConnell, who worked with Glendora before me, was a senior. And Devin asked him an array of extremely complex questions that no one understood. Only Devin and 2 or 3 other kids knew the full depth of all the questions he was asking. and Chris kind of was just like I can't, like he just sort of like glazed over them because like there was no time to go into detail. Devin had really good questions.
Oh, yes.
And like me and a couple other people were really disappointed that Chris didn't like go in depth about them, but like I wasn't particularly surprised. Like yeah, like it was. I mean, plus Devin is a staunch like.
Democrat.
He is technically a Democrat, but he's much more radical. Well, he's not I wouldn't say he's radical, but he's more radical than like your average Democrat. And Chris Gibson is like a moderate Republican. So like there was a little bit of tension. There could have been more tension if Chris Gibson was like a hard right Republican or a Tea Partier. It would have been disastrous. But it was entertaining to see the mild tension.
Oh yes, I can see the picture.
Yeah.
Devin, is the one to whom
Yeah.
I'm grateful, Devin McConnell, because he's the one who, well, when he knew he had to go away to college in July, he said, I'll try to find you a successor. And he found me Austin.
Yeah, Devin's very well read in politics, and he doesn't want to be a politician. He tried working on a political campaign and hated it, so he's probably going to try to go into like some sort of law sector where he can defend people from being abused by their employers or something like that.
What about a political career? Is he not going to?
Probably not. It's possible it could turn around, but the way he spoke of it, it sounds like he really is not interested in it.
Because
anymore.
when I knew him, he was.
He saw the inside of the system for about a month, and it completely soured him against it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Would you tell us what speakers they had at the Albany Vegan Expo
All right.
last November?
Okay.
2014.
So they had Neil Hornish, which is diet and the environment. Will Potter, ag-gag laws, what they mean for animal journalists and you. Animals, journalists and you. Which is, we've spoken about the ag-gag laws recently, but they're basically made the ones that would make it illegal to go undercover in an animal facility.
No, to make it illegal to take photographs
Yeah.
or videos
Yes.
or anything.
So basically there's
You know
no
what
way
that
to...
tells you, folks?
Yeah.
They're extremely ashamed of what they're doing, and they don't want you to know it.
Exactly. Well, they just don't want people to find out, because those are mostly how people find out that there's really inhumane practices going on in these places.
Oh.
That's how people find out, undercover video.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on. Do you want me to fast forward
Yes.
there? All right,
And often I have to go now to the Advent service,
All right.
so we'll,
Here.
thank you very
Do you want-
much.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And we will continue?
Yeah. Do you want to continue next time?
Yes, sometime. When we can, because I think this is very valuable information and it is helping the animals.
Ooh, I'm not sure what's going on.
So folks, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and may his face shine upon you and give you peace. Amen.